We now have June back in space. June has received a message from Osira on Earth. She knows that Osira is on Earth, but Osira doesn't know that June is in space. June receives this message, and June is absolutely heartened with the fact that someone on Earth, just one person, cares about Shiny's decision to kill himself. And so June writes Osira back. Again, Osira doesn't know that June is in space and says, if you want to know the real story behind Shiny and you want to know the real dirt on this thing, go to these coordinates. And she puts them in a form of code because she's certainly worried that maybe somebody from the XNI, which is the governmental agency that oversees all these things, might be watching. So she puts the message in code. Osira and Nighthawk, being part of Hopus Dei, are smart enough to figure out what the code means. So they're going to go off and try to find this little treasure that June has hidden away. And the song Steps in Time is June sort of turning back out into the cosmos to sing to Shiny, see, I was right. I was right to put myself in space next to you. My destiny with you is now coming true. I'm going to be responsible for bringing you back. And you don't even realize how important I am to you. Well, June bribed her way into space, and she paid a lot of money from the family's personal fortune. Let's call her a trust fund baby type, right? She's paid a bunch of money to make sure that her craft is the craft next to Shiny's. Shiny doesn't know who's over in the next ship. All he knows is an origami butterfly occasionally floats past a ship, so he assumes the person in the next ship over is just being kind. They're at a distance where they can't see each other. They have no other way to signal other than some flashing lights. So when Shiny takes the March of Life, he's of the understanding that no one will care that he's killing himself. Why would anyone care? He knows he's been erased on Earth. He's been in space for 20 years. So June is the person who makes that critical decision that Shiny's not going to go down without a fight. So now her plan is working, at least to this extent. She's messaged someone randomly on Earth hoping somebody would care. A young woman who's not a fan of Shiny sees the message. They go to an older hacker dude. His name is Dr. Aish. Dr. Aish basically says, hey, this guy's up in space and he's decided to kill himself. I can understand why no one cares because I didn't even care. I wasn't a fan. But hey, I got this song. Sends the song to Osira. Osira listens to it, feels absolutely nothing of attraction towards the song. Tries to post about it as many young people would. The message is erased, which tell Osira that there are some censors involved here. Goes to the dark web, which in the story is called the Crystal Web. Posts about it and suddenly finds there's this huge fan community for Shiny with the very people that she respects, which are like the hacker behind the scenes type of people kind of living in the digital weeds. So now Osira messages June in space, basically says, hey, somebody down here cares. June assumes that that person is Osira because they're messaging and says, hey, go to these geo coordinates. Now she turns to space. Shiny's floating away somewhere in the cosmos and says to Shiny, I was right. I was right to be this person for you. You don't even know how important I am to you. The whole album is full of coded messages. Even if you listen to this podcast religiously, which I know you all will, and even if you read the liner notes that come out with the box sets, there are hundreds of clues that only Smashing Pumpkins fans would pick up on. Or if you're interested in the story, you'll find deeper and deeper layers of the narrative. I've made the decision not to give it all away at this point. There's enough there that you can follow, but I want you to be able to enjoy and watch the movie and come to your own conclusions. I don't want to spell it all out. I think that's a bit boring. So June sends these coordinates to Osira. We'll get into what happens that in a subsequent song. But this is June's song of celebration. You got to remember, June's from a prominent family. And when June's family finds out, this is my own little backstory. It's not in the album, but you can understand why it's important in the backstory. When June's family finds out that she's going to put herself into space for the rest of her living life with an artist that she's never even met, and if she has, it was a wave at an autograph signing or something. She's not known to Shiny. I have known people in my life who claim they have a sense of destiny with the famous person. Okay, I'm talking about other people, not myself. And they really believe they have this karmic, deep relationship. June is absolutely convinced she has a destiny with Shiny. Here it comes. It's actually happening. She's the one person in the entire stratosphere, because remember, she's off planet, that has some say of whether or not Shiny's going to die.